Hello everyone, there is a beautiful cedar tree near our workshop. One day some extra branches were cut from it. We did not want to waste this natural material, so we decided to make a quick and simple coffee table from epoxy resin and pine cones. Today we will show how we made it. In our workshop we produce workbenches and working tables for home workshops, and of course we also use them ourselves. From this production we had a sheet with raised sides made from 3mm steel. We decided to use it as a mold for the pour. First, we put down polyethylene film, because epoxy resin separates very easily from normal polyethylene. Then we placed the metal sheet with sides on top. We covered the sides with double-sided tape. First, this closed the holes, and second, epoxy separates very well from the protective surface of the tape. On the other two sides, where there were no metal edges, we made walls from pieces of laminate board. We sealed all joints with silicone sealant and left it for 15 minutes to set a little. Then we went to prepare the resin. The main parameter of epoxy resin is its curing speed. The faster the resin cures, the thinner the layer you can pour, and the more difficult it is for bubbles to escape. For example, if a resin designed for a maximum layer of 1 cm is poured in a 5 cm layer, it can overheat and boil, pull the edges inward and possibly even crack. Also, many bubbles will stay inside because they do not have enough time to escape. This is why a different resin is selected for every task. We have 5 different types. First, we need to pour a thin layer to fix the pine cones in position. Bubbles are not important here because the resin will be opaque black and the layer will be thin. We can use a fast curing resin. It is evening now, and by morning it will be hard. We use a resin suitable for layers up to 1 cm and will pour about 7 mm. We calculated the required volume, mixed the resin, added black pigment, left it to rest for a short time, and went to collect the pine cones. Our metal tray is powder coated, so its surface is a little rough. We thought the resin could be difficult to separate from it, so we covered all metal parts with petroleum jelly. Just normal petroleum jelly. We poured the resin, collected the pine cones, and started placing them tightly inside the mold. By the next morning, the resin will cure and hold the pine cones in their positions. Friends, if you like what we are doing, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. Our channel is still young, so let us grow it together. The next morning, the pine cones were firmly fixed in place. We mixed more resin for the main pour. This time, we used a medium curing resin suitable for layers up to 3 cm. We did not make it deep black, we only added a light tint. This gives the pour more depth, and the pine cones look as if they are coming out from below. We poured the resin and left it for a little more than 1 day. After the resin cured, we cut away all parts of the pine cone standing above the surface with a chisel, cleaned the surface and removed the tabletop from the mold. It separated very well. The petroleum jelly helped a lot. We have this kind of device. It is also made from parts of our workbenches, and we use it as a rotor flattening table. To keep the rotor at exactly the same depth, we have a sliding frame for it. The rotor moves inside this frame along the x-axis. This frame moves over another frame placed on the table, which gives movement along the y-axis. The rails are made from the legs of our workbenches. We cut them with a laser and bend them to an angle, so their geometry is very accurate. The most important thing is that there must be no height difference between different areas of the surface. Step by step, we remove material until the whole surface becomes one flat plane. After routing, we sand all surfaces up to 240 grit. We use a vacuum cleaner and sanding discs with holes to reduce the amount of dust. We bought these wooden legs from a furniture supply shop. For viewers from Turkey, you can find such shops in the industrial area, and I'm sure similar shops exist in every country. They cost about $4 each. We painted them black. After sanding all sides, we cover the front surface with masking tape and plastic film. Then we paint the side edges and the back surface black. As you can see, the front surface is matte, and it is also not uniform. In some areas there is resin, and in other areas there is wood from the pine cones. There are two ways to finish this surface. The first way is polishing. This means sanding step by step up to 600 grit and then polishing with polishing compounds. In this case, it is not very convenient because we have two different materials on the same surface. It also takes quite a long time. The second way is much faster and easier here. Pour a thin layer of epoxy resin over the surface. The disadvantage is that the surface must be completely free of dust. The resin cures slowly, and this is difficult to control in a workshop. Even one small piece of dust can spoil the finish, and then the surface must be sanded and polished again. Still, we decided to use this method. The resin also needs to be quite fluid, so bubbles coming from the open wood have enough time to escape. For this reason, we use a fluid resin designed for pours up to 3 centimeters, but apply it in a very thin layer. We made a tray from polyethylene film so the resin could flow into it. Cured resin is very easy to remove from polyethylene. We placed the tabletop on a stand, poured the resin, and used a heat gun to remove extra bubbles. After this, we will cover it with a frame made from chipboard and clean cloths, so dust cannot reach the surface, and leave it for 1 day. Please note that we never pour completely clear resin, even when we need a transparent layer. We always add a small amount of blue pigment. Over time, even with all the additives inside it, epoxy resin can become slightly yellow because of ultraviolet light. The blue pigment is not visible now, but in the future it helps to neutralize any yellow tone that may appear. This allows the product to stay clear for many years. We were too quick when painting the legs. The surface looked smooth enough, but after painting, the wood fibers rose and we were no longer satisfied with the finish. So we sanded the legs and painted them again. We also cut and glued leather pads to the bottom of the legs. They look nice and make a pleasant sound when the table is placed on the floor. One more operation was not shown in the video. When we covered the tabletop with epoxy resin, the resin flowed down and left cured drops on the bottom surface. We sanded these drops away and painted the bottom black again. Why did we paint it the first time? Because at first we planned to polish the top surface, not cover it with resin. For this project, the correct order should be: after routing, sand all surfaces, pour resin on the top, sand away the drops around the lower edges, paint the bottom and sides black, and finally apply lacquer. We glued the legs to the tabletop with epoxy resin. Later we found that this was not the best solution, so we changed the connection. We still used epoxy, but also fixed every leg with a screw. The screw is driven halfway into the leg, then its head is cut off and the end is sharpened. We use this point to mark the position on the tabletop, drill a pilot hole. Apply epoxy and screw the leg into the tabletop. This is stronger. Epoxy alone can also work, but this method is safer. This is the nice little table we made. We used 6 kilograms of epoxy resin, costing $60, and 4 legs costing $4 each. The total cost was $76 and the work took about 7 person hours.